Hello, my name's Stephen West. I'm Head of Geography at St Joseph's College in Reading. We use our SAMHE monitor and web app as part of an enrichment club that runs each week. So far, we've looked at a range of different web app activities. So, for example, we've looked at the impact of carbon dioxide concentrations before and after exercise in an unventilated room. We've also looked at opening oranges to watch the total organic compound concentration spike before and after, and had a discussion about why that might happen. With Year 12 geographers, we use the web app and the monitor to have a wider discussion about urban air quality, the impacts and ways to mitigate some of the effects of poor air quality. The data is also available for the wider school community, so other subject areas like science have access to the live data, and obviously the historic data to use within their studies as they see fit.
We are using the SAMHE app to look at different spaces across our school. So currently our SAMHE app is in the hall, and we are trying to analyse the data to see if we can tell how many children are in the hall at different times, and see what other information we can secure from the app. So we have had the monitor for a while, so we've been moving it from different rooms or room to room every half term. So we've looked at the data when it's been in a room with our oldest children in year 6. We've looked at it to see if it's different then when it goes down to our smallest lungs in year 3 in the classroom. And we are looking for patterns and trends. So now that we can access data throughout the whole time, initially we could just look at the last hour. So the progress on the app that allows us to look at things in real time and go back and analyze data and comparisons has been fantastic, and the children involved have loved it. They are frantically checking things on a fairly regular, slightly obsessive basis, but they're loving it, and the freedom it gives them to look at different things. Being involved in SAMHE has been a really interesting project, and I think the biggest success for us as a school, especially as a junior school, primary school, is to be able to work with real data. So all too often in primary schools, we're looking at temperature, we're making measurements and collecting data on a fairly banal set of parameters. So the ability to be able to look at data over a number of things, carbon dioxide, TVOC, particles in the air, and make assumptions and hypotheses from that has just been amazing. And the group of children, so currently I'm only working with a selected group of more able scientists in year 4 and 5, and their passion has sent it off in any number of different directions, and depending on which child is looking at it, we're coming up with a number of different ways to either look at the data or work with the data and make assumptions, or indeed test our hypotheses. They have really run with it. They have led assemblies to the rest of the school, telling them what we need to look out for, or what they need to look out for when the monitor is in their classroom, what the data and the lights on the monitor mean for them. And it started a whole conversation for pretty much everyone in the school. So considering it's been in different classes over time, the children love the fact they see, and the teachers see very readily, the need to open windows, the need to get some fresh air so children don't feel sleepy and sluggish, and learning is more effective. And that has been fantastic. It's changed the dialogue that we're having. So, you know, COVID, we were opening the windows because it was COVID. Now there is a greater understanding that, yes, COVID plays a part, but actually this is to improve their reception to learning. And that is a game changer.
With the SAMHE monitor, we're going to explore different areas in the school and see how the air quality changes over the day, and also over we've got a 2-week timetable, so how it varies over those 2 weeks. And also we want to compare the different rooms. We've had a conversation with the careers department, have a room that's completely inside the building with no windows, and they're concerned that the air quality isn't too good in there. So we're going to see if we can provide them with some evidence to argue that there should be some further ventilation. Essentially, we're going to be comparing different areas and getting a feel for the air quality in different regions of the school. With the web app, the girls that have been working on it have gone through a few of the stages so far, because it only went live for us a little while ago, so they haven't had much time to work on it. But they've got totally into it. They've measured they worked in a lab for that, actually. They measured the dimensions of the room, and then did a workout to what's it called? It's some kind of dance routine. They did YMCA and things like that, and hopped about until they changed the reading on the monitor, so they could see that they had contributed to the mixture of gases in the room. Yeah, and they're really into it. They've been having a great time. They've formed a team. One of the girls has taken the lead with it, and she's organising them to get engaged again for September. So both the app and the monitor have been used fully, apart from, in addition to having it in the physics department office and monitoring the quality of the day. And actually, it's changed their behaviour. We're opening windows, opening doors, and then it was in the one of the labs. And again, the visual display catches everyone's eye because it flashes red or suddenly becomes red, and everyone wonders what that is. And it's a great conversation starter, actually. So it's fab. As far as the benefits to me go, it's helped me engage with different students, ones that were already doing things, but they hadn't really found a focus for their interests and their passions. And one of them has emerged as, actually, she's only year 8, so she's very early on in her career. So to have developed a passion for something already is just wonderful. And she's developed these great leadership and organizational skills that I don't think had come out before. And it's because the focus of the SAMHE project is so clear, and she's got a device that she can operate. It's very, very simple, because she can plug it in and then just go to the web app and have a look through what's going on. She finds that the challenge is changed from being one of academic understanding to being one of pulling a team together and interpreting data, which is quite different and totally useful for her. So from my point of view, it's brought these girls together and helped me get a team in an area that I wouldn't necessarily, and people that would not necessarily work with me. I've also involved the Eco Squad. We've got an Eco Squad at my school, and I wanted to get involved with them, but I didn't really have a project that kind of crossed over, because I'm a STEM coordinator, and I didn't feel I had, although I had eco projects, I didn't have one that I could easily mix lots of different people into. So I've done that, and I introduced the Eco Squad coordinator, who's another teacher, to the project. I'm trying to get her to becoming more involved with it. She found it really interesting, and she's a chemist. I'm a physicist, so it's nice to have a combination of inputs as well. And because it straddles chemistry, biology, physics, tech, and all of the STEM subjects, Actually, we can branch out in whichever direction we want to, as well as maths, actually, with the interpretation of data and dimensional measurements, establishing the size of the room and things like that. So it's a great sort of center point to branch out into lots of different areas. I think, as far as the school is concerned, I mentioned the fact already that the careers department actively want to use it in their discussion with senior management over the design of their room. I think it will also lead to a view on how the airflow is acting in the school, actually shifting the designs and the plans and the new builds that we have going on. We have quite a lot going on. As well as informing decisions when we have to select spaces. We've got a number of spaces we can use, and often they just put us in whichever one they want to. But if we can say, look, we've got 20, 30 students going into this space, and we have evidence to back up the fact that this lowers the air quality within half an hour to a point that is not conducive to their learning or their health. What the monitor provides us with is actual evidence to support a point of view. It stops being something that's just who's the better at persuading each other, or this is more convenient because it's closer to the classes. We can argue from a different perspective. I know scientific evidence is not necessarily something that the country is that hung up on at the moment, but if we can push them back that way, that would be wonderful. And Sammy will help us do that.
My name is Gemma Hortop, and I work at an 11 to 16 academy called Hounsdown School in Hampshire. My school has been a pioneer school for Sammy and has been involved in the project for a few months now. Initially, our first project used a Sammy lesson that was written, but we tweaked it and planned a lesson during National Science Week so that students could really understand how important ventilation is during a disease transmission, particularly COVID, and some of the experiences that they'd had in school. So the lesson was taught to a wide range of different abilities and different year groups, and overwhelmingly the feedback was very positive and the students had enjoyed the lesson. The baton of the Sammy Monitor has now been passed on to our Eco School group, as we're a green flag school, and this small group of students are interested in investigating general air quality around the school. So in particular conditions such as science labs where Bunsen burners are being used, food technology rooms when there's a lot of cooking, and also the general quality of the air outside of school at the end of the school when there are a lot of school buses potentially sitting idling outside the school. So we're hoping next year to continue the work that we've done, and we would like to run a cross-curricular project with the PE department using Sammy as a monitor to study aerobic respiration, potentially with Key Stage 4 and Key Stage 3 students. So the Sammy Monitor is a wonderful resource. There's so much information that can be extracted from it so that the students can use real data and access data that from their own school, and use this to plot graphs, plot results, plot results tables. It really is a fantastic resource, and I would recommend any school to take part in this project.